Welcome to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. Beginning April 18th, the Mayhem Machine Duke of Death and a range of items previously exclusive to returning players are now available for all players in GTA Online. These include the Marshall Monster Truck, the Dodo Seaplane, the Kraken Submarine, the DuPont Duke's Car, the Class Stallion Car, the Ballista Compact Car, and the weapon, the Hatchet. Returning players who previously purchased these items will be reimbursed for the purchases. Simply log into your account and your reimbursement will be delivered to your Maze account within the next week. From April 18th to May 1st, keep a close eye on your iFruit as the full cast of the Los Santos Underworld will be paying double GTA money and rank points on all contact missions. You don't have to wait for someone to slide into your death matches with offers of work though. You can still launch these missions at any time via the job menu. If you're jonesing for some buy and supply action, capitalize on a hefty 25% off offices and 50% off special cargo warehouses. Earn a 25% bonus payout on special cargo deliveries and make short work of your rival organizations with discounts on armored and armed vehicles. This list includes 25% off executive offices, the Progen Itali GTB, the Truffaut Nero, 25% off Debauchy Spectre, the Karen Kuruma Armored, the Heavy Insurgent, the Karen Technical, also 25% off the Benefactor Turreted Limo, Benny's Upgrades, Body Armor, and all ammo. This week's premium special vehicle race is Surf and Turf, locked to the Blazer Aqua. Launch premium races through the Quick Job app on your in-game phone or via the yellow Corona at Legion Square for a shot at big GTA money payouts for the top 3 finishers and get triple rank points just for participating. You're listening to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. Welcome to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. I'm here with Constable Timmy B. Constable Timmy, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I have a few questions for you today for the podcast. First of all, how did you find Mounties Gaming?
I found it from Ranger Scope's videos.
Okay, so Ranger Scope's YouTube channel. And how long have you been in Mounties Gaming?
I've been in here for about a month and a half.
So 6 weeks in, and how do you find it?
I love it. Everyone's great. Met a lot of great friends.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about Mounties Gaming community?
Probably the community itself. Everybody's great. And the gaming and like the police roleplay, that's all great, but I'd say the people is what keeps me here.
Okay, and if there was anything you could change for the better to improve the community, what would it be?
I don't know how much there is to change. Everybody talks to each other. I like it. I don't really know anything to change.
Okay. Within Mounties Gaming, we utilize the acronym HIPCAR, which means honesty, integrity, professionalism, compassion, accountability, and respect as our core values. What do they mean to you, and how do you use them within the community?
They just mean just to basically respect everybody in the community and just act professional. And it definitely helps me just to notice that not to really act out as anything, just like be there for people and others will be there for you. Okay.
And where do you see yourself within the community in the next 2 years?
I'm hoping that I'll stay, hoping to have time to do it all. But hopefully in 2 years I'll possibly get promotion to do something and maybe be in a specialized operation full time.
Great. And what's your future look like in your personal life? What do you want to do for a career when you're older?
I've considered being a police officer or going into some technological stuff with computers. And that's basically about it. Maybe entering the military has crossed my mind a couple of times.
Well, maybe you can combine all three and become a forensic technologist or something for a police force or military.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
All right, well, listen, Timmy, it's been great talking to you, and thanks for your time today and meeting with me on the podcast.
All right, thank you for having me.
Take care. You're here with the Mounties Gaming Podcast. I'm with Constable Nolldad from Traffic Unit. Constable Nolldad, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. How did you first discover Mounties Gaming?
I would say, like everyone else, watching the GTA 4 RCMP videos from Ranger, and just it was something I was always interested in, and it just I waited a long time to join, but since I've joined, it's been a lot of fun.
And how long did you wait to join?
Oh gosh, I was watching the videos when they were on GTA 4, so I actually just joined I joined the community in, I believe, September or October, and then I became a constable in December.
Okay, which answers my next question. How long have you been in Mounties Gaming? So since September, you said?
Yes, I think it was
Okay.
September or October. I can't remember which.
And why traffic? What's so great about the traffic unit?
Traffic unit is just more advanced patrolling, a little bit more interaction with people, with traffic stops and doing things like pursuits and uh, and just advanced policing. It's something I really like to do.
Do you find there's never a dull moment, or are there moments of pure boredom?
Haven't had much boredom yet. We've had plenty of excitement over the last week with a pursuit of a missing child who had been abducted.
Excellent. Okay, my next question. You're the father of 3 children. How on earth do you find time to play online? For real?
I actually have 4.
Oh,
And the time zone difference, I'm in the Eastern time zone and the community time is 3 hours behind. So basically it just comes down to I have the time at night, and that's usually when my kids are winding down their day and getting ready for bed.
perfect. And what other hobbies do you have other than gaming or other than computers?
I like to travel. I'm a big hockey fan. I haven't been to a game in a couple years, but I actually took my kids to their first game a couple spring breaks ago, and they loved it. Um, and I'm a big baseball fan. I'm getting ready to take on a bunch of baseball games this summer, and uh, spend time with my family and traveling is mostly what I like to do.
That's a terrific answer. All right, well, listen, thank you very much for your time today. I know it's kind of a short interview, but very informative, and thanks a lot.
Absolutely. See you out there.
All right, welcome back to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. I'm here today with Constable Satire. Constable, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. So, how long have you been in Mounties Gaming?
Since October of last year, I believe it was.
And how did you first discover Mounties Gaming?
I watched Ranger's video since GTA 4, and I wanted to join, but I didn't have a computer that ran GTA, so when I got GTA 5, finally, I tried to join the communities, and I got in, so.
Great. And now just looking at your tags here, I noticed that you're an OCC operator. Tell us about that.
Pretty hectic, especially dealing with everything that goes on in patrols. Usually it's just a operator on with a few ISs and ITs, which are in training and in shadowing. So they're basically the constables in training of OCC. And it's pretty difficult to manage everything that's going on, especially with everything that you constables do.
You constables. Nice. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty busy position is what you're saying.
Yeah, very busy. Like one time I had in a patrol I had 7 10-11s come in a row, and in the middle I just told everyone just to stand by and just clicked on the board for a few seconds and then continued on because I just got so overwhelmed.
So those that are joining us from outside the community, 1011 is a traffic stop, and OCC is Operational Control Center, basically our dispatch system while we're in patrols. So the people that all the constables talk to many times over during the patrol. I also noticed, Satire, that you're an emergency response team member. What's that all about?
The emergency response team is basically dealing with any high threat issues like a bomb threat or a person with a gun that is shooting people. It's basically the specially trained unit to deal with that kind of stuff.
I see you're also an emergency medical responder.
Yes, as we are trying to get all the specialized operations to be EMR or at least have their standard first aid, so in case an operation goes south or someone gets shot, we can take care of them until the actual paramedics arrive. And also, as an EMR, we can actually go as basically like volunteer paramedics if there is a needed call out for us.
Like a mass casualty event?
Yeah, so if there would be a second alarm that goes off, and it will call in all the EMRs to basically go to the nearest station, grab an ambulance, and head out to the scene.
All right, Satar, thank you very much for joining me for the podcast today, and we'll see you in patrol.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. I'm Constable Torque, and I'm here with Constable Joker. Constable Joker, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I understand you just returned from a trip to Vimmy Ridge for the 100th anniversary. Tell me about it.
Well, basically, my school came to me, well, not me, but as a group, a whole bunch of people about 3 years ago, and they were telling us that we were going to go on a trip to Vimmy Ridge to celebrate the 100th anniversary. And right away, I liked the idea. I signed up, and we just got back a few days ago. So that's what it was. So.
What was the experience like? Describe it for me.
At Vimmy, for the anniversary, it was a pretty crazy experience. It was one that I'll never forget, and it will probably stay in my memories forever. It was just being able to see the stuff that we did with the commemorations for the soldiers that they did, and the Prince and Trudeau and everybody walking down, and just it was a really good experience.
Did it alter your perception of the First World War?
In many ways it did. I
How
used
so?
to think, I used to think that it was a very opened, more like less action, I guess. But from what I've learned about Vimy Ridge, the front lines were close. The Germans had a really big advantage over the Canadians and the British and the France that were fighting in the battle, and just learning more about it and the struggles that they went through.
So how did the Germans have the advantage? Was it because of high ground and they could see the entire area?
That's one of the main things, yeah. From the top of the ridge, they could see a lot of the stuff that was coming at them from the bottom, so they could just sit up there and they'd know where everybody would be moving around.
Right, and from what I understand from firearms, it's a lot easier to shoot downhill than it is to shoot uphill with any accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense. Did it alter your opinion of war in general?
Yes. I feel like war as a whole, and I've thought this from before, but I don't know if it's the right thing. I mean, you can't stop it because it will go on forever, but I don't know how other people can sit there and, well, I understand you're defending your country, but it's just, to me, it all seems crazy, and I don't really know how to explain it.
Okay. It's probably really difficult to put into words. I can understand where you're coming from. So if you had to do this trip over again, would you have changed anything? Was there anything that could have been done better, or was it just a fantastic trip overall?
Overall, I think the trip was fantastic. With going to Vimy was one of the big things, and it was the main reason for trip. But other than that, we also went to a whole bunch of other different things. We went to the Somme. We went to Ypres, or Ypres, sorry. We went to Juno Beach, Omaha Beach, and a few other beaches. So it wasn't just Vimy. It was just a whole bunch of things together. I wouldn't change anything about it. It was pretty fantastic.
So in locations where there were some pretty large battles.
Yeah.
And could you still see some of the structures? Are there still buildings left on the beaches? Are there anything, indicating that there was a war?
For all the World War I sites that we went to Ypres, and there was little areas here and there that were preserved from World War I. So there'd be fields all around it for farming, and then you'd arrive at this place and it would be like a little box that's 300 meters by 300 meters maybe, and you can still see all the trenches and all the craters and everything with, they're all filled in with grass now, of course, but they're pretty well preserved. And then the places for World War II, we actually went through some of the German pillboxes at the beaches and everything, so they were pretty cool.
So some pretty powerful imagery and probably a very interesting environment to walk through.
Yeah, like I said, going back to it, I used to think World War I was just maybe not a few, I understand all the mortars and everything that were used in it, but actually going there and seeing that every foot or less there was another crater, and learning that the trenches a lot of the time, to make them fast, they'd end up just connecting the craters together because they were just so close together. It was, yeah.
And was it a costly trip? Was it expensive?
Thankfully, for all the stuff we did, we had great tour directors, and our school got us a bunch of good deals and everything. So it wasn't as expensive as it could have been, but it was still up there for price. But I think it was well worth it.
How did you raise the money?
Our school did a whole bunch of different things, from a day where we went to a track and we did sort of a fundraiser, as in people could sponsor you as you went around. We got soldiers assigned to us that we had to research and do stuff on, and some people actually reached out to the families that we got assigned. 4 years ago, I think it was, somebody got assigned a soldier, and the people lived in New Brunswick. They contacted them, and they actually got them a flight to New Brunswick to meet the family. They sponsored the one girl's trip, and they actually, all they wanted her to do was get a engraving of the stone with a piece of paper and a pencil. So
it's amazing that's the power of education and what you can experience when you really put your mind to it.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story. What did you bring back any souvenirs?
I actually brought back 3 things. Well, technically I guess it's 6, but I brought back just a little bit of sand from Juneau Beach and Omaha Beach. So there's that, and I also brought dirt back from Omaha Beach, and I'm planning on putting those into little just containers and labeling them. And then I brought back 3 bullets that we found in a little store. So they're pretty cool looking.
Right on. What countries did you visit? Was it all in France?
Well, we went from Britain, Britain, and then Belgium, and then to France.
And you stopped in each place? Did you visit locations in each country?
Yeah. In London, we went to a big war museum, and we saw a whole bunch of, a training camp that was right down by the English Channel. And then in Belgium, that was where we went to, I'm not positive, but we went to Brussels, I think it was, and we saw a whole bunch of the battle sites around there. Then when we went to France, we saw a whole bunch of them, and then we ended up in Paris.
Okay, so has it made you think about joining the military in your future?
Joining the military was something I'd been thinking about since I was younger. I feel like it'd be a good thing to do, but I mean, to me it's a little nerve-wracking.
Well, I'm sensing some mixed feelings about it, and you know what?
Yeah.
I can completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, that's a great story. I'm really looking forward to hearing it on the podcast, and thanks for joining me today.
No problem.
Have a great day.
You too.
You're listening to the Mounties Gaming Podcast.